Alright guys, good morning and welcome back to Shauna Training. This morning we're going to go through a stretching and yoga flow. Today is going to be more centered around your breath. So I want you to get started somewhere on your mat where you feel comfortable. You can either do this from a sitting position or a kneeling position. Inhaling your shoulders up your back and then down your spine. Inhaling through the chest, lifting the rib cage. And exhaling, feeling that soften down to your belly. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now bringing that breath down into your stomach. Inhale and exhale. Two more. Inhale. Last breath. Taking both your hands off to the side of you, letting them dangle on the floor. Taking a nice deep inhale and bringing your chin all the way up to the ceiling. Exhaling it all the way down to your chest. Inhale all the way up to the ceiling. Exhale all the way down to your chest. Starting a circular motion, bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. The chin rotates up towards the ceiling. Right ear to right shoulder. And bringing the chin back down to the chest. Continue on, left ear to left shoulder, chin towards the ceiling. Exhaling the right ear to the right shoulder and chin to chest, stopping at the bottom and going the opposite direction. Right ear to right shoulder, bringing your gaze up towards the ceiling. Left ear to left shoulder and chin down to your chest. Continue that motion, right ear to right shoulder, chin up towards the ceiling. Exhaling your left ear to your left shoulder and chin down your chest. Sitting there for a brief moment. Inhaling your hands up and overhead, coming into a slight open heart back bend. Exhaling, bringing your hands all the way down in front of you. Setting yourself up for your first child's pose. Slowly walking your hands down and away from you while keeping your butt on your heels. With every exhale, you'll feel your body soften and lengthen into that pose. Allowing your neck to relax, letting your forehead completely compress into the mat. Keeping that breath going, feeling your lats widen on the inhale, and feeling your back soften through that exhale. Taking 2 more breaths here. With your next exhale, taking your right hand on top of your left hand and sitting in this pose, allowing the stretch to go just a little bit further into that right side. Last breath here. And switching the hands, right hand back down onto the floor, left hand coming up and over. Again, breathing into that lovely rib cage. Feeling it expand on the rise and contract on the fall. Last breath. Both hands back down to your child's pose and sit here for 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Slowly, you're going to inhale and shift your weight forward onto your elbows, allowing your feet to extend back behind you. Coming down onto your mat, lying on your stomach and your hips. Pushing your elbows into the floor and making sure that your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. You're going to activate the shoulders and pull your shoulders back. Your chest and your heart will shine forward. Your chin's going to hover just above the floor. And just feel that breath inhale and then exhale. Inhaling, pushing the belly into the floor. Exhale, the belly button softens. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Slowly pushing yourself back up to all fours, hands and knees. Making sure that your hands are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hips, coming into our eye of the needle. Inhaling that right hand up and above you first, twisting open to the side wall. Exhaling and bringing that hand underneath your left, lying down on your shoulder and the right side of your head. You can then take your left hand and lie it down on the floor, straight above your head. You can bring that hand all the way up into the air, or you can wrap it around your lower back and just let it set. Taking 3 more breaths here. I know this pose is a challenge, so come into the inhale and exhale. Last breath. Nice and slowly planting that hand back down onto your mat, pushing yourself back up to the top, rocking out your shoulders and your hips, and preparing yourself for the other side. Inhaling and taking that open heart, shining forward, twist through. Exhale, bringing the left hand underneath this time, lying down on that shoulder, and then again, going into whichever variation of the eye of the needle works best for you. 3 breaths. With your next inhale, slowly setting yourself up, coming back to all fours, hands and knees, shaking everything out from side to side. Moving into a heart melting pose. Now for this heart melting pose, you're basically going to keep your hips directly on top of your knees, and you're slowly going to assist yourself in walking your hands all the way out. Every time your hands take a little bit of a movement away from you, your heart is going to melt towards the floor. Eventually, you're going to come into that heart melting pose where your chest sinks through and into the ground. Resting your forehead on the mat and just breathing into that deep bottom diaphragm. Filling it like a giant balloon. Here we go. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. And nice and slowly pushing your hands down into the floor and inching your hands all the way back. Taking as much time as you need to, working yourself all the way back up to your hands and your knees. Again, shake it out from side to side. While we're here on all fours, we're going to transition into our lower body. You're going to tuck your toes and send your hips high into the sky. Pushing back through that butt and cycling through those lovely heels. Straightening one leg and then bending into the other. Now coming to stillness and just pushing through those heels, notifying where they are right now. Now whichever leg feels more tender to you, you can kick that leg all the way up and into the air behind you, and with an inhale, pulling that knee all the way through and crossing that foot underneath you. Laying the toes on the foot back behind you. Your shoulders will come up, chest shines forward, and your gaze looks straight ahead. Now in the pigeon's pose, you should feel this stretch from the glute, the IT band, into the hamstring. Taking a nice deep inhale, and then exhaling if you can, nudging yourself forward into bringing yourself down to your elbows. Being very mindful with this pose. Inhaling, feeling your ribs expand. Exhale all the way out. Inhale. And exhale. Push that breath out. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good. Inhale. exhale all the way out through that breath. If you feel your muscles soften, go ahead and bring your forehead down to your forearms. Enjoy 2 more breaths at your own pace. Now nice and slowly, you're going to go ahead and build yourself back up to the top. Slowly pushing into those hands, walking your hands back, tucking the toes of the foot behind you, and then pushing your hips back up and into the sky. Notice how one leg feels compared to the other now, and go ahead and start cycling out those legs, bringing that blood flow back into it. And when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and perform the same stretch on the opposite side. Kicking that leg up behind you, inhaling and bringing it through, crossing that foot over. Shoulders stack behind you, chest shines forward, chin's level with the floor. Taking a deep inhale, and then exhaling and nudging yourself forward, coming to those elbows if you can. If you need to use your yoga blocks underneath your forearms here, please go ahead and do that. Coming into that breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, full exhale, keep going, push that breath out, and good. Inhale, exhale, taking 2 more breaths here at your own tempo and at your own pace. Now nice and slowly, go ahead and start building yourself back up to the top. Pushing those hands into the floor, shoulders come back behind you, tucking the toes of the foot extended behind you, and then pushing those hips all the way back up into the sky. Cycle through those heels, bring some movement into both legs. When you're ready, you're going to bring yourself all the way down to your knees. Now you're going to tuck your toes underneath you and come into our toe stretch or our foot stretch. You're going to go ahead and start pushing your butt back into your heels, allowing your heels to stay as close as you can together, and allowing the stretch to go from the tips of the bottom of the toe, through the arch of the foot, up and through the heel, and you might even feel this into your Achilles tendon. Staying nice and strong here. Now you can choose to stay exactly where you are, or you can slowly start pushing yourself all the way up so that you're actually sitting on top of your heels and getting that beautiful toe stretch from underneath. We're going to come into some neck mobility here. So inhaling your shoulders up, exhaling, letting them fall down to the floor. Perfect. Left ear to your left shoulder, stretching out that beautiful right side of the neck, feeling that from the front of the collarbone all the way up and to the back of the ear. Sitting there for 1 more breath. Inhaling, coming all the way up and over, right ear to right shoulder. Don't worry, I remember we're still on our toe stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. 1 more breath here. Inhaling and coming back up to center. If you need to take a quick moment to tap out those feet, please go ahead and do so. Otherwise, inhaling your chin up towards the ceiling. Feeling both sides of your neck stretch from the base of your collarbone. With your exhale, coming all the way down, chest and chin connect. Stretching from the base of your traps, all the way up the back of the neck, into the bottom of the skull. If you can bring your hands to the back of your ears, you might actually be able to massage out some of that tight tension that you have going on back there. Let's go ahead and flip. Inhale, chin up towards the ceiling. Just let your hands come down for a sec. Feel that stretch up the front of both sides of the neck. And then with an exhale, bringing that chin back down to your chest, hands come back to your neck. Go ahead and give yourself just a little bit of a self-love massage. Rubbing through those sternocleidomastoids on the back, behind the ear, trying to release some of that tension and headache. Bringing your hands back down to the floor, coming back into center, lifting your feet off of the floor, pointing your toes, and then tapping them on the mat. Perfect. We're going to rock over and grab a seat on our butt, extending our legs straight out in front of us. You're going to remove that soft squishy spot from underneath your sit bones and allow yourself to ground completely into your mats and into the earth beneath you. Placing your hands on your shins or your knees, inhaling your shoulders back behind you, nice tall body. Exhale and let your hands go forward. Don't round your back. I want this to go right across your lower belt line. Allow your QLs to soften, your erectors from the base of the tailbone, engaging your hip flexors and your core, taking a nice deep inhale, exhale, inhale and coming back upright, squeezing your shoulders behind you, nice tall spine, arms come up and overhead, and then exhaling, come into your forward folded C spine. This allows you to round your shoulders, rounding your back, and getting as much of this stretch in as you can. You might feel this behind the calves, the back of the knees. I'm definitely sitting in the hamstrings and in the lower back. Just using your breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 more breaths. Exhale. Last one. Nice and slowly, allowing yourself to come all the way back upright. Placing the soles of your feet onto the mat. Your hands fall back behind you. Chest is proud, shoulders back, chin is up. Inhale and then exhale. Drop the knees over to one side. Inhale them up. Exhale them over to the opposite. Do this 3 times both ways. Keep shining that heart forward, pushing your energy out into the universe. Inhaling up and then exhaling, bringing both knees together into broken bridge or a winged bridge. Now slowly and ever so mindfully, you're going to bring yourself down to lying on your mat. Extending your legs straight out in front of you, letting your heels connect with the mat, allowing your upper body to just melt into place. Letting your spine decompress for a moment. We're going to bring you into a happy baby pose here. So you're going to go ahead and inhale your right knee into your chest, giving just the right knee a hug first. Allowing the back of that leg the opportunity to soften before we go ahead and try and lengthen. Now you can let this right knee fall into your armpit, allowing the inside of the groin to get a little bit more of a release here. Whenever you feel good with that, you can let that foot float all the way back down to the mat. Inhaling your left knee all the way up and into your chest, giving yourself a loving hug, flexing those toes, and again letting the back of that leg soften. When you're ready, you can let that foot float all the way out to the armpit, and then allowing it to drift ever so mindfully back down to the mat. Moving into our happy baby pose, inhaling one knee at a time up and into your chest, bringing your hands together with your feet. Now you can bring your hands to the outside of your feet, the inside of your feet, or wrapping them around your toes. From there, you're just going to sit in your low happy baby pose. We're not going for a full extension yet. This is allowing the stretch to begin from the groin, the inside of the adductor complex, and just allowing your hips to become aware of what's about to happen. When you're ready, and if you feel strong enough, you're going to take a nice deep inhale, and then exhale, slowly kicking those heels up and through to the ceiling. Feeling that stretch come on through the groin, into the hamstrings, and maybe even into the lower buttocks and back. Trying to keep your tailbone grounded on the mat beneath you, not lifting your lower back, allowing the stretch to stay within form. Now you can choose to stay nice and still here, or you might feel like you want a little bit of movement. Go ahead and rock side to side if you feel that movement coming. Now you don't have to stay with your legs completely held up. You can go ahead and bring some movement into them too, slightly straightening one and bending the other. With your next exhale, you're going to bring the soles of your feet in towards each other, wrapping your hands around your feet, and just bringing your shoulders back down onto the floor, allowing the stretch to transfer wherever you may feel it, from the inside of the groin, the hamstrings, the hip flexors, just sitting here for a brief moment. Releasing your feet and wrapping your hands around your knees, giving yourself a loving hug. We're going to go into our spiral twists. You're going to bring your arms out at shoulder height. You're going to hold your hands up like you had cactus arms. You're going to choose to wrap your right leg over your left, or you'll choose to wrap your left leg over your right. I'm giving you an option here because every body is different. I'm going to wrap my right leg over my left, and then that means I'm going to drop my legs over towards the left. If you have crossed your left leg over your right, I want you to drop your legs over towards the right. Keeping your legs crossed will cause your lower back to hold a little bit more tensile strength to it, and that should help you with a stretch throughout your glute, the outside of your IT band, and into that hamstring. So just a little bit of tension in some of our stretches will actually help carry through that stretch. Now you can choose to keep your right leg crossed over your left and feeling that beautiful stretch in that glute, or you can kick through that top leg, pushing out through the heel and pulling the toe back towards the face. This will give you a full extension of the hamstring. Some people want it and some people despise it. Taking 2 more breaths here. With your inhale, coming all the way back up to top, giving your back and your hips a chance to ground. Now whatever side you just completed, go ahead and cross the opposite leg over top, and then falling over to that matching side. Again, keeping your hands up in cactus arms, allowing your glutes and your side IT band to just relax. If you feel like you can extend this top heel, kicking it straight out away from you, and pulling your toe back in towards your face. Just allowing that stretch to transition to wherever it goes, being mindful and keeping a strong hold on your breath. Taking a nice deep inhale and slowly bringing your knees back up and in towards this chest. Giving yourself a loving hug once again. Grabbing both kneecaps with a matching hand and coming into your open baby's cradle. Just allowing your groin and the inside of your adductors to completely relax again. Allowing your feet to drift all the way back down and out onto your mat. Moving slowly. Taking your arms up and overhead and lying them flat on the mat. Just feeling your lats soften and your triceps relax. Doing a full body stretch from tip to toe with your next inhale. Taking a nice deep inhale, stretching from tip to toe, stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, soften. And again, inhale, stretch. And exhale, soften. Inhale, full body stretch, pull, 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 and exhale through the mouth. Bringing your hands back down beside your hips, palms are up towards the ceiling. Moving into a small meditation before you begin your day. scanning your body from your toes, up through your legs, into your hips, through your torso, and all the way to your tip of your head. Exhaling and scanning it all the way back down to your toes. I want you to clench your fists and tense your body for a brief moment. Take an inhale, and exhale, soften and relax. Letting your toes drift apart. The back of your knees are soft. Your glutes relaxed. Your lower, mid, and upper back lie effortlessly on your mat. Unclenching your jaw, relaxing your forehead, allowing your hands to just float. Taking a nice deep inhale, acknowledging all the thoughts. Exhale and letting them go. Focusing on your inhale and your exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Slowly bringing a little bit of movement into your fingers and into your toes. Rocking your head from side to side. Bringing both knees into your chest and giving yourself one more loving hug. This time I want you to bring your nose up and into your knees. Feeling your back contract, rocking front to back, side to side, or rolling in little tiny circles. When you're ready, joining me at the top, sitting in your easy pose, either on your butt with your legs crossed, or kneeling where we begin our class. Bringing your hands to heart center, and finishing our class with an Om and a chant of 3 Shantis, which means peace, peace, peace. Inhaling your shoulders up, exhaling them down back behind you. Inhale. Exhale to Om. Om. 3 Shantis. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much for joining me in today's practice. I hope that your body feels softer and more prepared for the day in advance. Love and light, and namaste. Woo. All right. I feel great. Alrighty. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. I hope you guys have a freaking awesome day. I will catch you guys next week.